Most people think they're prepared. A few cans in the pantry, a bag of rice in the back of a cabinet, some extra water bottles in the garage. And if something actually happened tomorrow, a severe autumn storm, a power outage, a regional grid failure, or a sudden supply chain disruption, they'd open the pantry and discover the exact same thing most people discover too late. It's not that the food isn't there, it's that the right food was never there to begin with. As we reach the end of August, global agricultural yields are finalized, seasonal weather risks shift dramatically, and food distribution networks adjust for the upcoming cold months. This video covers 12 specific foods every serious emergency stockpile needs right now. Each one was chosen for a concrete reason: shelf life, nutritional role, real-world usability under extreme pressure, or all three at once. Stay until number 1. It's not just the most cost-efficient food on this list. It's the single ingredient that connects everything else and forms the absolute foundation that professional emergency food systems worldwide are built on. Number 12 is where we start, and it's one most people fundamentally misunderstand. Number 12. Instant coffee and tea. Most people file instant coffee and tea under luxury items, something optional next to the breakfast mug that gets used once a month. That category is wrong, and it's costing people one of the most genuinely useful psychological and physical tools available for emergency storage. Over the past year, global coffee prices have experienced sharp upward pressure due to severe weather in major growing regions and supply chain bottlenecks. But price is actually the least interesting thing about instant coffee for emergency storage. During a prolonged crisis or power outage, caffeine withdrawal is a silent liability. Severe headaches, lethargy, and mental fog, 12 hours into an emergency clear-out or severe storm response, can compromise your ability to make critical decisions. Instant coffee provides immediate, reliable access to caffeine without requiring a coffee maker, electricity, or complex brewing filters. Furthermore, hot beverages provide profound psychological grounding during disorienting, stressful events. Nutritionally, pure instant coffee and tea leaves contain natural antioxidants. Chemically, because freeze-dried instant coffee has virtually zero moisture, an unopened sealed jar or tin can maintain acceptable quality for 20 to 25 years when stored in a cool, dark environment. A standard glass jar costs between $5 and $9. When purchasing for long-term storage, avoid pre-mixed 3-in-1 coffee powders containing dairy solids or hydrogenated oils, as those fats degrade rapidly over time. Stick to pure instant coffee or loose-leaf black tea. If your instant coffee eventually hardens from ambient humidity, it remains safe to consume. Simply dissolve it in hot water as usual. Number 11. Canned fruit in heavy syrup or juice. Here's a problem almost nobody anticipates when they start building a food supply, and it quietly undermines everything else. The problem won't just be running out of calories. It'll be that the food stops feeling like real food when your diet narrows to the same rotation of dry grains, plain beans, and salt. Emergency nutrition researchers call it appetite fatigue, a gradual psychological unwillingness to eat what's available because the repetition becomes genuinely hard to push through. People start eating less than they need, even when enough food is right in front of them. One can of peaches, pineapples, or pears breaks that pattern completely. Canned fruit delivers dietary fiber, essential micronutrients like vitamin C, and natural simple sugars that require minimal digestive effort to convert into immediate energy. The syrup or concentrated juice inside the can isn't waste. It's clean, calorie-dense liquid hydration loaded with carbohydrates that can be drunk straight or mixed into plain grains. A standard 15-ounce can cost between $1 and $2.50, holding good quality for 18 to 24 months. Because fruit contains natural organic acids, inspect these cans regularly. Always practice a strict first-in, first-out rotation system, and never store cans directly on bare concrete where moisture can accelerate rust at the base. Flavor and morale aren't comfort items in a crisis. They're what makes the food supply psychologically sustainable. Number 10. Rolled oats. 6 o'clock in the morning during a prolonged power outage, no stove, ambient temperatures dropping. Everyone needs a hot, calorie-dense meal to get through the day with no complex preparation. That's the entire case for rolled oats, and it's one of the strongest on this list. A standard container delivers complex carbohydrates, soluble fiber, specifically beta-glucan, and notable plant-based protein. Beta-glucan slows digestion, preventing rapid blood sugar spikes and providing sustained, even energy release over several hours. Oats also support cardiovascular health and lower cholesterol, which matters directly when your overall emergency diet becomes heavier in canned proteins and high-sodium items. From a practical cooking perspective, rolled oats require minimal heat and fuel. You can bring water to a quick boil, stir in the oats, remove the pot from your heat source, cover it, and let it coast to completion without burning precious cooking gas or wood. In a severe water or fuel pinch, oats can even be soaked overnight in unheated water to make cold overnight oats. A standard 42-ounce canister costs around $4 to $6, offering an exceptionally low cost per serving. For long-term storage, choose plain rolled oats or steel-cut oats over instant-flavored oat packets. Instant packets contain added oils, milk solids, and flavorings that shorten shelf life dramatically. Sealed in mylar bags with oxygen absorbers, plain rolled oats will easily maintain top quality for 10 to 15 years. Number 9. Canned soups and stews. When most people begin building a food supply, the instinct is to focus entirely on raw, single ingredients: dry beans, bulk flour, raw salt. While those build the necessary foundation, single ingredients require preparation time, water, fuel, and culinary effort. When you come home after hours of clearing storm debris or managing an immediate crisis, you may not have the time or physical energy to cook a complex meal from scratch. Canned soups, beef stews, and chili are complete, fully cooked meals in a single metal container. They require zero additional water to prepare, and in extreme scenarios, they can be eaten straight out of the can without heating. A single can of thick beef stew or chili delivers a high balance of protein, fat, and carbohydrates in a familiar, comforting format. A heavy-duty can of soup costs between $2 and $4.50 and stays viable for 2 to 5 years past its printed date if the container remains unblemished. One critical purchasing consideration: pay attention to sodium levels. While sodium is a vital electrolyte, consuming exclusively high-sodium canned soups without adequate drinking water can induce dehydration. Balance your supply by pairing rich stews with plain rice or pasta to stretch the servings while lowering overall sodium intake per meal. Number 8. Baking soda and baking powder. No item on this list takes up less space for the massive range of functions it performs. A standard 1-pound box of baking soda costs less than $2, and if kept in a sealed, moisture-proof container, its shelf life is effectively unlimited. Most people recognize baking soda as a secondary ingredient for baking bread. In an emergency scenario where commercial yeast is unavailable, baking soda, sodium bicarbonate, is the chemical leavening agent that allows you to make quick breads, biscuits, and pancakes when combined with an acid like vinegar, canned fruit juice, or reconstituted powdered milk. Without a leavening agent, flour and water produce dense, hard crackers that are difficult to chew and digest over extended periods. Beyond cooking, baking soda is a multi-use survival tool. It acts as a gentle abrasive cleaner for pots and utensils, saving valuable clean water by cutting through grease. It serves as an effective oral hygiene product when toothpaste runs out. Neutralizes stomach acid for acid reflux relief and can be used to extinguish small grease or electrical fires when water cannot be used safely. The time to buy baking soda isn't when store shelves are stripped bare. It's now, while it costs next to nothing. Number 7. Canned vegetables like corn, peas, and green beans. 3 days into a major power disruption, fresh produce in the crisper drawer has turned to liquid. Your body's store of micronutrients begins draining, and without fresh options, digestive health degrades rapidly. Canned corn, green beans, peas, and carrots provide critical dietary fiber, potassium, vitamin A, and magnesium. While heat processing during canning reduces some heat-sensitive vitamins, the mineral content and structural fiber remain completely intact. Furthermore, the liquid inside canned vegetables, often dismissed as waste, is clean, mineral-infused water that can be used directly as the liquid base for cooking rice, pasta, or grains, ensuring no calories or nutrients are lost. A standard can cost between 90 cents and $1.50, holding quality for 2 to 3 years. Choose vegetables canned in water with minimal added sodium when available, or mix the contents directly into rice dishes to distribute the mineral content across multiple meals. Before we get into the top half of this list, drop a comment with whichever item surprised you most so far. It takes 2 seconds, and it genuinely helps me understand what's useful to people watching this video. Number 6. Peanut butter. 8 hours into a power outage, no stove, no flame. Everyone needs calories to get through the night with no preparation, no cooking, and no cleanup. That's the entire case for peanut butter, and it's one of the strongest on this list. A standard jar delivers protein, healthy fats, and a high calorie count, all immediately accessible without any equipment. Protein and fat together provide slow-burning energy that keeps people full far longer than carbohydrates alone. No crash, no hunger an hour later. For families with children, there's something else worth naming: familiarity. A recognizable flavor during a stressful, disorienting situation carries real psychological weight, especially for kids. Peanut butter pairs with almost everything on this list: spread on flatbread, stirred into oatmeal, or combined with honey for a high-calorie meal in under a minute. At $4 to $8 per jar, it offers one of the lowest costs per calorie on any grocery shelf. One purchasing distinction that matters: natural and organic peanut butters have fewer stabilizing additives, meaning oils separate faster and shelf life after opening is shorter. For emergency storage, conventional commercial peanut butter is the more stable choice. Most unopened jars hold good quality for 18 to 24 months, stored cool and dry. Number 5. Cooking fats and lard. When people plan an emergency food supply, fat is almost always last if it gets addressed at all. Water, protein, carbohydrates. Fat, if it comes up, is an afterthought. That sequencing creates a gap most stockpiles are quietly carrying right now. Vitamins A, D, E, and K are fat-soluble. The body can only absorb and use them when dietary fat is present in the same meal. A food supply heavy in canned vegetables, legumes, and grains, but lacking an adequate fat source, delivers only a fraction of the micronutrient value those foods actually contain. Vegetable shortening, ghee, and shelf-stable lard close that gap without requiring refrigeration. Fat is also the most calorically dense macronutrient you can store. Roughly 9 calories per gram, more than twice what carbohydrates or protein provide. During reduced food availability, that density matters directly. 1 tablespoon of solid fat stirred into cooked rice or beans adds meaningful calories without adding volume or cooking time. High-grade ghee and hydrogenated shortening can store safely for 2 to 4 years unopened when kept away from light and heat. Number 4. Canned meat like tuna, chicken, and Spam. 12 hours into a power outage, everything fresh or frozen in the warming refrigerator crosses from being a resource into being a problem. In the cabinet, with no electricity, canned tuna, salmon, chicken, and processed meats like Spam remain completely unaffected. Canned meats deliver complete protein, all essential amino acids the human body cannot produce on its own, in a single serving. Complete protein supports muscle maintenance and sustains fullness in a way plant-based proteins alone cannot replicate. 1 can of meat added to rice or beans transforms that starch into a nutritionally complete meal. Most canned meat costs $2 to $6 per can and holds good quality for 3 to 5 years. Because canned meats are high in sodium, balance higher sodium items with low sodium choices and diversify across types to secure omega-3s, versatility, and caloric density. If this video has been genuinely useful so far, taking a second to like it makes a real difference in getting this kind of content seen by others. Number 3. Dry pasta. When storm warnings hit, pasta shelves thin out fast because people instinctively reach for familiar, easy-to-prepare pantry staples. That instinct is correct. Dry pasta combines low cost, long shelf life, and genuinely simple preparation. Boiling water and a few minutes of cooking time, that's it. Paired with canned tomatoes, canned beans, canned meat, or simple salt, pasta creates distinct meals that combat appetite fatigue. Pasta also cooks significantly faster than whole grains, conserving limited cooking fuel during emergencies. A 1-pound box of semolina pasta costs approximately $1 to $2. Repackaged into mylar bags with oxygen absorbers, semolina pasta holds its quality for 10 to 15 years. Avoid egg noodles for long-term storage, as their fat content causes early degradation. Number 2. Drinking water and storage containers. Humans can survive weeks without food, but only a few days without clean water. Water is required to cook rice, boil pasta, reconstitute powdered milk, and maintain essential hygiene. Emergency experts recommend a minimum of 1 gallon per person per day. For a family of 4, a 2-week supply means storing over 50 gallons. For serious storage, food-grade high-density polyethylene HDPE containers are vastly superior to single-use plastic bottles, which degrade over time. Avoid storing water containers directly on bare concrete floors to prevent condensation damage. Water is the single item that makes every other food item functional. It deserves immediate attention. Number 1. White rice. White rice appears at the foundation of nearly every professional disaster relief stockpile worldwide. No other food delivers such a high caloric yield, extreme shelf life, and universal pairing versatility at this price point. A 50-pound bag of white rice costs around $20 to $35, delivering tens of thousands of calories for pennies per serving. Rice serves as the structural platform for everything else. It pairs with beans, canned meats, tomatoes, peanut butter, and cooking fats. When sealed in mylar bags with oxygen absorbers inside 5-gallon food-grade buckets, white rice maintains top quality for 25 to 30 years. Choose white rice over brown rice, as the natural oils in brown rice turn rancid within months. None of this requires a dramatic lifestyle change. Just 2 items this month, 2 more next month. When an emergency strikes and retail shelves empty, you won't need to join those lines. Everything your family needs will already be sitting quietly in your pantry, ready. Which one of these 12 items is missing from your setup right now? Drop it in the comments below. It helps me know what to cover next.